Amazon Blue Stream, whatever is your comfort level. Hope you enjoyed just as much as we did. So the Blue Beetle is a DC Studios movie. And this one is based on a superhero film. Of course, Jamie Reyes, who plays the Blue Beetle. He was amazing. So this film is directed by Angel Soto. It was written by Gareth Dinette Alcorser, and again based on the comics of DC. It's starring Sholo Maradona, which is the actual guy playing the Blue Beetle himself. Adriana Barraza, Damien Alcázar, Raul Trujillo, Susan Sarandon, George Lopez. And so those last two names we are all familiar with and have been around for quite some time. Haven't seen Susan Sarandon in a moment, so it was a pleasant surprise to see her acting again. She looks wonderful. It was really, really good to see her again. It's about 127 minutes long. So it's not too long. And there is no down moment. There's no down moment in this film. So the plot is in a remote tundra of Antarctica. Members of the Cord Industries, led by the company's co-founder and CEO Vicky Cord, which is Susan Sarandon's character, and they're trying to locate what they did. They didn't try. They located an ancient alien artifact known as the Scarab. And so that kind of is the basis of what the Blue Beetle actually is. He is a scarab. And so meanwhile in Palmyra City, which is where everything is based at, that's where the Cord Industries is. That's where Jamie Reyes and his family is. And he's a graduate. He's fresh out of college. Just got back to Palmyra City. And he's looking for a job. He was pre-law. He's just trying to find his way back at home. He has a sister, a mom, grandparents that live with him, and his uncle, his dad's brother, who is played by George Lopez. Have not seen George Lopez play this kind of hippie-style character. So funny. Almost puts me in the mind of Cheech and Chong. So I really enjoyed him in this particular role. And so he gets a job at working as like a porter in the Cord Industries. Nope, that's not right. As a porter for Susan Sarandon at her home. And then her and her niece have some words, and he kind of hops in there to be a peacemaker. He gets fired. The niece tells him to come to the office so she can see if she can possibly help him get a job, since he was fired from her auntie's home. And this is how he meets the niece, and I believe her part was Victoria. Victoria was her name?
Yeah.
Okay, it was Victoria. And so from there, there's still a lot of back and forth between the niece and the auntie. He goes to the corporation that morning, and when he gets there, his whole family's there to support him. They're all outside yelling and screaming and being support. You would have to see that part to really know what I'm talking about, because it's funny, and it actually is the basis of how his family really is, the whole movie. And so he goes in. There is a bunch of the niece is sneaking around trying to find what the aunt is cooking up in the labs, because the aunt's being very secretive about some of the sponsorships or inventions or things that she is
planning to do, especially with the army. Mm-hmm. She's trying to make like an army kind of base, like trying to destroy the world. Well, she said help the world, but it's really to destroy the world.
And what she's referring to is called a one-man army corps, and the film they call it the OMAC. And so she finds this little beetle, and she smuggles it out the lab. They shut down the office, and they're trying to locate it. She gives it over to Jamie Reyes, and which he returns home with this box. She puts it in a chicken box, And he returns home with this box, and she asked him not to open it and to guard it with his life. And when he took it home, he opens it. They look at it and they see that it is a blue metal beetle. And they're like, what is this? They're kind of messing with it and they're kind of joking around with it. And when he puts it in his hand, the beetle at that point attaches itself to him. And then from there,
from there, they the beetle jumps on his face, and the uncle is trying to like pull it off, but he's actually screaming. Who's playing George Lopez, which that was very funny. They're trying to pull the beetle off of him, but it's crawling around him, and then suddenly the beetle just attached to him and started growing the legs, and
it becomes one with him.
Yeah.
So the beetle picks its host.
Yeah.
And the beetle decides that Jamie Reyes is going to be the host. And from there, the whole family's in disarray. Everybody running around the house screaming, trying to get this beetle off his face. The beetle is attaching itself full-heartedly to Jamie. And then finally, he full body armors him. And in the process of that, the family is just still screaming and just going crazy, trying to figure out what's going on. The inner part of the suit is also communicating with Jamie Reyes and letting him know that the host has been chosen. He's like, he's trying to figure out who's talking, not realizing that the suit is actually making a connection with him. From there, he's still trying to figure out things because he's a full-blown beetle at this point. And it's a powerful beetle. It is splitting buses in half. It is... What else did it do? It was tearing up the city.
Yeah.
Really?
Making him fly, swords, any kind of weapon that he could create with his mind, basically. Like, if he wanted to make this huge sword, his mind can just control the suit to make him this huge sword to use to, like, fight, like, the bad guys in the city.
He hooks back up with Victoria at some point, which is the young lady who gave him the chicken box with the beetle in it from the beginning, or the hamburger box. It's a hamburger box, what it is. From the beginning, and he's trying to figure out, what is this? What have you gotten me into? What did you do to me? And she's explaining to him that it chooses who it wants to be with, and unfortunately he was chosen, so she can't. That there was one way she could help him, which was by a key. And so from there they go on this excursion to try to find this key, aka a watch. And this watch is supposed to be able to help him get his life back and unattach himself from this beetle. But in the process of all of that, tons of fighting scenes and tons of chase and running scenes. Tons of information just given in general about the process of how this all became as such. They're looking for him. There's a manhunt around that city trying to find him by Cord Industries, which is Susan Sarandon being the owner of that company. She has her own villains. That's part of her that help fight, aka villains and the military are on her side, and so they kind of help her, get what she needs and fight through the city trying to find Jamie and this blue beetle.
They even went to his house and attacked the family. That's what's good. Is the sad part is. On that part is when they was attacking the family, his dad actually had another heart attack. But this time, he was incarcerated. There we go, incarcerated.
No, he had a heart attack, yes. He was not incarcerated. He wasn't in jail. He had a heart attack, though.
Oh. he had a heart attack and then he passed away as they was trying to revive him. And that was kind of sad that his dad passed away. Everyone was crying and sad. But the grandma said, listen up. We need to go get, what's his name? Jamie back. So grandma was like, suck up the tears. It's time to fight and go get him back. And she was funny. The grandma was funny in the movie. Because in the fighting scene almost to the end, she knew every, inside the building where he was located, she knew what to do. And she knew how to use this big gun. And everyone is shocked, like, how she know how to do this?
The grandmother had a past with the militia, and the grandma, which they call her Nana in the movie, Adriana Barraza is the actual lady who plays Nana, which is extremely funny. And his family just became these real fighting machines. They kind of went through that hard moment with losing the father under the attack, and they were about the business. They were going to do everything they could do to help Jamie get Jamie back, because he was actually taken by Port Industries. They had finally got him into their possession to extract that beetle out of him and give that power to one of her goons and her right-hand man, who was, again, one of these extremely powerful bad guys. He also had parts that were assembled on him. He was
also in the military. He was just messed up.
They made him into a kind of like a human robot, so to speak.
Yeah.
He had like a hand that was artificial and it did something. He had a leg that did something. So he had parts of his body that were made to be a fighting machine. And so he was very mean and very anything you would assume that a bad guy would be, that was exactly what he was. And he played that very well. By the way, he did an excellent job with that. The graphics and the royal blues and all of the tones of blue, I loved it. It just made for just pleasant for your eyes. And so all of the wasn't a whole lot of there was a couple of scenes of blow up scenes. I think it was only 2, which was nice, because sometimes they overkill. Every time you go somewhere it's a blow up scene, and it wasn't like that. But the colors that they chose and the graphic design was very beautiful, and his costume in general was really nice, very well put together. I enjoyed that. That's what catches me, is what the graphics look like and what color formats they use to make that particular scene or movie, because that can change everything. It's worse, you can watch a movie and the graphics are horrible and the plot is horrible. It's just a horrible movie. At least they could do is, make it visually pleasing. And so in this case, it was both funny, it was suspenseful, and it was very fun graphically to watch.
It had fun colors in it. Like she said, like the blues and the different types of like reds and yellows, and like in the beginning of the movie is like how they tell the city, and in the city at the airport is like colorful paints on the letters. So it was nice.
And I think I keep saying Victoria, but I just realized that Victoria is Susan Sarandon's part, and Jenny is the niece. So just to clear that up, Jenny is the niece, and this is also his love interest at the end, right? And so as you could kind of figure that out really early on, because they're making a connection, and so at the end it does become that Jenny is the love interest of Jamie, aka the Blue Beetle, and it has a very cute ending. And the ending of family togetherness, just support. And so the ending was very nice. It was not a sad ending at all. And in fact, they took that one, 30-second to 90-second scene of the father passing away. They took that and they made them they made them stronger. So I appreciate that, how it wasn't sad. And even when they finally had his memorial, even that wasn't sad. People were showing up from around the city to help
bringing food
and bringing food. So it just showed empowerment and family togetherness. And I love that they didn't draw that part out. They didn't make it sad. It was sad for a moment, but it didn't. It turned. It literally was about 90 seconds of and after that it just started to make sense. And there were some emotional moments between like Jenny when she's thinking about her father, and so there are moments in there where it can pull at the heartstring emotionally, but by far was it not a sad movie. It was so funny. It was so funny and so fun to watch. We literally laughed the whole time. And this is one of the movies that I really can say I was sad when it ended. Because usually I'm like, this is too long, this is drawn out, they missed something. Not at all. I was like, dang, that was so good. I could have used another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good
I
movie.
agree with that. It was a really great movie.
And just, this movie only brought in $117.6 million. So y'all go watch it so y'all can help me bring in some more. But I think their budget was 104 and their box office 117. So they made the money back, but it's well worth it. It was well worth it. It was so good. So good.
It was really
and it's hard to explain everything that was happening because it's
so
many scenes and so intense, right?
Yeah. Like, it's like, ooh, there's this, and then there's that, and then it's like, oh, snap, he did that. I'm like, oh my goodness.
There's so much going on. So it's hard we can't even remotely touch all of the motions and the movements that were going on within that film. I am a Marvel's girl personally. But this DC film, yes. I'm so pleased and so happy that I had the opportunity to see it.
I'm kind of both. I'm kind of DC and Marvel, but this DC movie was really, really good, and I like it. And I was just saying, I would definitely watch it again. Like, I would go back and watch it again.
I would too. Absolutely. Wouldn't be one that I would mind even, as they say, save it in your DVR or, So, yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Whenever it does hit the stream, I would say go ahead and watch it. I would even encourage you to go ahead and go to the movies to see it on the big screen. If you can, you can go see it that way. You will not be disappointed at all.
I wonder if it'd be really cool if they did like 3D. Like the 3D
version.
They do. Yeah. I bet that would have been so cool watching 3D. All that in your face.
Oh no, they didn't have a 3D version. You're right. No, you're right. Oh yeah, you're right. No, I'm thinking of IMAX, the IMAX version.
No.
But you're right, it was not
that
in 3D.
If it was 3D, y'all, it would have been really cool. Like,
you're right.
Having that action so close to you, like you're in the movie for real.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. That would have been like pleasantly surprising. And who doesn't like sitting in a theater with glasses on, right? And getting that full effect of the mayhem that's going on in front of you. And so, thank you guys as always for being supportive, tuning in and watching what our 2 cents is on any films, whether it be old, new, classic. We just appreciate you. And so we do have a few that we've already reviewed that we'll be releasing soon. We have a whole stack that we need to actually get out. So, we do. Also, as always, we do like to talk about a particular product for every. And today's product, and keep it in mind that none of this is sponsored. This is, all paid for out of pocket, and these are all the things that we have grown to love in our own personal movie space at home. Nostalgia. So this is a hot dog warmer and maker, right? Or not maker, but warmer. So the top lid, guys.
Oh yeah.
This is where you keep your buns nice and warm. This particular one can fit up to I believe 12 to 16 buns. This drawer here, guys, this is where you're going to put your hot dogs at. You're going to, this part right here can hold the same amount of buns, so I believe it's 12 to 16 in that drawer. And then underneath here is where you would put the water, and the water is what causes the steam, and the steam comes up and it cooks those hot dogs and it warms those buns, and this is truly a movie theater experience except at home. You can find this product on Amazon or at nostalgia.com. I would highly, highly, highly recommend this. If you do not have one, you are missing out.
We even tried it out and I loved it. It was nice hot dog. The buns make it nice and soft. It's so good.
So thank y'all. We appreciate you.
And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and leave
share.
And share. Definitely share. And leave a movie that you want us to watch and review.
We would appreciate that. So leave all comments behind. They are accepted. And yes, please, if you can, leave us a movie that you would like for us to watch and review and get our personal opinion on. We'd love to do that for you So just let us know. Thanks again.
Thank you. Bye.